What's up, everybody from Universal? I am in the middle of the New York Street section of the park in the Stay and Scream area. This is referred to as the Finnegan's Stay and Scream area. There's a couple of different things that are open. Annie Ann's over here is open. You got the Haagen-Dazs, you got Finnegan's, and this is the Stay and Scream for Spirit of the Coven. I don't know if you can get into any of the other houses from here, but this is one of three, maybe four, I'll put that information right here, Stay and Scream areas. So basically currently it is 4 o'clock. The park closes at 5 and Halloween Horror Night starts at 6. If you're inside one of the Stay and Scream areas, then you can stay in the park and then you're released to the houses early. Last year when we did this, it was about 30 to 45 minutes early. We'll see what happens this year. This scare zone is also open to a lot of the food booths. There's a bar on this side. So this is the line right here in front of us for Spirit of the Coven. This one also releases over to Halloween. The line for that house is quite a bit longer, much more popular house. So you could go to Annie Ann's or the ice cream place or sit down at Finnegan's, but there are at least 5 booths over here where you can get food. So that's a pretty cool deal if you're gonna be here a while. This is within that same scare zone. You can see over here is Revenge of the Mummy tribute store. And this is the line that starts for Halloween. Now I think I got 35 minutes to get around to one of the other ones. I think I'm gonna try out one of those. So over to my right is the horror makeup show, Cafe La Bamba in front of us. It's the entrance to Ghoulish, which is the Lagoon show. So this is gonna be the entrance to the Stay and Scream. I'm not sure what all houses this gets you into, but I know it's the weekend. So that's the one I'm gonna go into and stay there until HHN starts. We are moving currently, we're moving over under the Animal Actor stage. That's the same one I was in last year. This is very reminiscent of last year. I'm almost in the exact same spot. A little bit further back. It is currently 4:40, so I'll fill you in on times as we go along. All right, so 5:30, almost on the dot. They released the line, so we are heading up into the queue line to the first house weekend. So I have Express, and I'm opting to use my Express. The smart play, if you have Express, is to not use it. Wait in the line because you're going to wait in a shorter line. You can hit 2 or 3 houses with very little wait, and then you can go back and hit those houses again later because you can only use your Express once per house per day. But I'm not going to be doing a lot of houses today, so that's why I'm opting to go ahead and just use my Express and get there even faster. All right, it's now 5:45, and the attendant is right here at the front of the line. I just heard her tell the person in the very front that they're running a little bit late. So they had planned to open at 5:45, so it looks like we're just going to be a few minutes past that. But I think that's a good sign going forward. I mean, you can pretty much count on, if you're going to do Stay and Scream, starting at 5:45, and that's a full 45 minutes prior to official start of the event. All right, so out of the first house, out of the weekend. So we were about 10 minutes late getting in there. I know we were because I could see the line for Legends, and they were coming out before we even went in. We went in about 55 after, and then we were able to get through it. It's now exactly 6 o'clock, still 30 minutes before the event opens. So we're through the first house, on the way to our second. Heading back right where we started, through the Animal Actors holding area where we were doing Stay and Scream. We're gonna go through Springfield and try and hit up Descendants and maybe Bugs back here by MIB. Descendants of Destruction. Currently 5 minutes away, but we're still going to go ahead and use our Express. So it is now 6:30, just out of Bugs. So I've been through 3 houses, all before the event even opened. So I could have gotten through 4 had we been let in on time at the weekend. So we were about 10 minutes late getting in. So again, goes to show you, if you do Stay and Scream, you're going to wait a little while in the beginning because there's no not waiting. So I got the garlic Philly cheesesteak, tender shaved beef served on a black hoagie slider roll with onions, peppers, mushrooms, Munster cheese, roasted garlic aioli, and curly fries. All right, so not as good as I'd hoped. Not terrible, but you know, you sort of, when you get something that says Philly cheesesteak, you expect it to taste like a Philly cheesesteak, and part of it did. But then whatever that cheese sauce was, I think they said it was Munster cheese, just kind of gave it a weird flavor. We'll give that one a 6 out of 10. I got the spicy fried chicken offals. It's crispy fried chicken thigh pieces with peanuts, crunchy chili, toasted sesame seeds, scallions, and a spicy gochujang sauce. That sounds pretty good. It's good. It's spicy. If you don't like spicy, don't get this one. But it's got a little bit of that sweet. But this one is really balanced out with the heat. Really good. So I'm in line for the Horrors of Blumhouse, which is, I'm going through the queue of Fast and Furious. It's the first time I've been in this queue in a long time. Like, it's just the only time I've ever ridden this ride. Well, no, I guess I've ridden twice. No reason to come to this queue, except for this. If you're wondering if HHN gets crowded, here's your answer. This is a Wednesday night. This is not an event for people who don't like crowds. So I had pizza fries last year, we talked about it, but we're gonna have them again this year. French fries, sausage, pepperoni, tomato sauce, and cheese. But I don't know, something about having those here at HHN just sort of makes the event. They're sort of a staple food, and as few times as I've been here, I've had them every time, and so it's gonna be a tradition that I continue. They're really tough to get tonight because very, very busy. But these pizza fries, from the time that I got in line to the time that I picked them up, was almost 45 minutes. So, whew, early or late is my advice, not middle of the event. So I just want to say real quick about Nightmare Fuel. I don't remember if that was as good or better than last year, but I will tell you this. I think that show is fantastic. I think it's one of the best things about Halloween Horror Nights. I know a lot of people lament and miss the old Bill and Ted show. I never got to see that. That was before my time. So I've only ever seen this, so I don't have it to miss. But I will say the show is fantastic. Do yourself a favor, don't miss that show. It's definitely worth seeing. I just popped over here into Diagon Alley because I wanted to kind of walk around and show you that Diagon Alley is open during HHN. There's nothing Halloween here, there's nothing scary here, but the area is open, the shops are open, the stores are open, and Escape from Gringotts, I believe, is also open. Pretty good line over here at the Hobby Pot for butterbeer or adult beverages. They have dragon scale beer, they have pumpkin juice, they have butterbeer, a couple of different selections over here at the Hobby Pot. Okay, everybody, that brings us to the end of yet another Halloween Horror Nights video. There will be some continuity issues because they shot this over several days, so I may be wearing different clothes. Some may be day, some may be night. I wanted to do a little bit of recap of what I thought of the event this year. I didn't think this year's event was as good as last year's, but that has not much to do with anything other than just preference. Some of the IP last year I thought was better. Some of the houses last year I thought were better. As much as I liked the Pumpkin Lord last year in his own house, I don't really like him as the icon. It just seems a little silly, maybe. I don't know, silly. It's a little off for me. But I did want to go back through the list of houses. I wanted to talk about where each one of them ranked. So I'm going to start at my least favorite and work to my most favorite. This year, unfortunately, one of the IP houses was my least favorite. Blumhouse was I didn't like it at all. I thought it was not good. Now, I've only been through it once. I will go back through it again multiple times before the event is over. But for now, Blumhouse is number 10. Number 9 was Hellblock Horror. It just seemed like it was put together last minute, and from what I understand, maybe that it was, and it did sort of come off that way. Number 8 was Legends Collide, another one of the big Universal IP houses this year. It didn't come together for me. The story just didn't make sense. It wasn't scary, at least to me it wasn't. Again, I will go through it multiple times, but maybe it'll move up in rank. All right, so number 7 was Spirit of the Coven. Just what it was. I'm going to give number 6 to Bugs. Even though I like Bugs a lot, it could move up my ranking over the rest of the event, but for now we're going to leave it at number 6. It's campy, it's fun, it's got a couple of scares. Generally, I really like it. All right, number 5 is Chupacabras. So Chupacabras is a good house. It has a couple of really good, sizable scares, but there does seem to be a little disjointedness for me. So that's why it sort of lives halfway. All right, number 4, we're getting to the top half. Number 4 is Halloween. Halloween is good. Anytime you see Michael Myers coming out after you, it's a little scary. There's tons of Michael Myers in that house. I won't spoil the surprise, but the last room of the house is what made it for me. I think it was excellent. It was well done. All right, number 3 is The Weeknd. It's not the scariest house. You know, what it reminds me of is if you took Beetlejuice from last year and you made it scarier, that's what The Weeknd was for me. Again, it was kind of campy, but it was scary at the same time. So I really enjoyed it. Weeknd, number 3. So number 2, I don't know where this one lives on everybody else's list, but for me, Descendants of Destruction was number 2. A couple of really good the scare actors in the house seemed to really be into what they were doing. And then for me, the reason that it's so high is the same reason as my number 1 is so high, is that the set design and the set pieces, it's just so immersive and so amazing, and you're just awestruck, and you're looking at the set pieces, and then that's where you miss the scare actors, and they get you. So number 2, Descendants of Destruction. And then number 1, Dead Man's Pier. Very same reason. It's got huge, massive set pieces. When you walk in, people are just like, wow, this is amazing. So for me, that is the winner so far. Again, I will and we'll adjust this list as time goes by. I think the big thing that most people are zonking this year is that the lines for the food are outrageous everywhere. All the Coke Freestyle machines 2 hours into the event are all out of ice, so there's nowhere to get a cold drink. If you pay for the refillable mug, you can just look at your soda. A lot of them will be sold out of soda too, but there's zero ice, so it's all hot. You know, the general crowds, it's just something you've got to accept when you come to this event. It's busy, it's crowded, it's always going to be that way. It's a world-class event. People want to come here. People plan their vacations around it. So just know that you're going to have to bring all of the patience that you can muster, because you're going to need every bit of it. You can only come one time, and you only have one night. Express or RIP tour is the only way to go. As always, we're going to sign off in our usual way. Thank you for coming along with me. If never lost, then never found. So go get lost.